Hey, Alexis Love Beauties and Flawless Man. So we are back for part 2 of understanding the elements of health. In part 1, we spoke about it doesn't matter the color of your skin, it doesn't matter your age, it doesn't matter your height, definitely it doesn't matter about your weight. Since we are humans, we all require a certain amount of elements, a certain amount of nutrition, vitamins, minerals, and based off of your body in general, like your health status, you may need just a little bit more of those nutrients. But because you're skinny doesn't mean you're healthy. Because you're overweight doesn't mean that you're unhealthy. It just means that we have to know the basics of the elements that our body requires in general. So we have to stray away from like diets and the way we look, because we all require nutrition. So we started off reading from this book and we stopped in the understanding the elements of health, and we have just a little bit more to read here, and then we'll be all set with the basics of just even understanding why health even matters in general. So we're going to get right into it. So picking up where we left off from, this is what the read says. If we do not give ourselves the proper nutrition, we can impair the body's normal function and cause ourselves great harm. Even if we show no signs of illness, we may not necessarily be healthy. It simply may be that we are not yet exhibiting an overt symptom of illness. One problem most of us have is that we do not get the nutrition we need from our diets because most of the food we consume are cooked and or processed. Cooking food at high temperatures and conventional foods processing destroys vital nutrients the body needs to function properly. The organic raw foods that supply these elements are largely missing from today's diet. We have to understand that in general, we require proper nutrition. And I'm going to leave this video down below as well about going to the doctor and just making sure that you're checking on yourself. A lot of the times we're not exhibiting signs and symptoms of illness because it takes a while for things to lay dormant in your body and then for those signs to show up. Some people are more sensitive than others, so when they come in contact with something, their body sends an immediate response. Versus somebody else, it may take them a lifetime to even know that they have something going on. So just because you're not showing any signs or symptoms of illness does not mean that everything is okay. It does not mean that you're healthy, and it doesn't mean that something is wrong and that you're not healthy. But just to understand that you do require nutrition, you never have to worry about anything when we just understand that. So we have to take more care of ourselves and not just be thinking, well, I ain't see nothing going on, so that means I'm straight. We have to get out of that mindset, and we have to get out of, pride. There's a lot of pride that humans have about wanting to go to a doctor or wanting to express certain things. Like I always say, professional people don't have time to, unless they want some other type of, court issues. But professional people don't have time to, it's confidentiality. So these people are not going to be sitting up when you leave the office talking about, girl, did you see her chart? That is none of them people business. So you have to begin to be comfortable and know that if you're out here doing stuff is bound to happen. If you're out here and you're not eating properly, you're not trying to, we're human, so we have different taste buds. But if you know that all you drink is pop since you've been born, later on down the line, you have to understand that pop is not hydrating. Pop does not have any nutrition. Pop is a lot of acid. So you have to understand over a period of time of you drinking pop, eventually that acid is going to begin to feed off of your organs. Like if we look at the stomach is only so big. So the other, where this fat is coming from, this is body tissue. Like this doesn't have anything to do with the stomach. So we have to understand it's going to take a while for our organs to even break down. But I know people that be like, well, I've been good for 30 years, so I'm going to keep on doing this, keep on doing that. We have to stop and just understand the basics that you are a human and you do require, flawless man, you are a human and you do require nutrition. So the past decades have brought to light much new knowledge about nutrition and its effects on the body. and the roles it plays in disease. Pseudochemicals are known as pseudonutrients are one example of the results of this research. Over the past decades, there has been scientific research. There has been information provided to us about aluminum, about us blocking our sweat ducts and how it's causing Alzheimer's and dementia later on. There has been scientific research about toothpaste and different things that is deteriorating our bodies. It's just when we go places or we're around people and doing things, we may not be given that information, but this is why I always say do your extended research. You have to understand that the body is going to begin to break down. You can't ignore when you have a little knee pain. You can't ignore when you have a little chest pain. You have to look at those things and we have to evaluate, okay, why is my chest hurting? Like, don't just ignore things. And I always get on my men, because I know my men just feel like, well, I don't have to get that checked out because I'm a man, and I feel like too, like certain, like acne. I don't really see a lot of men with acne, but that doesn't mean that there's still not some underlying issues. So men think because the appearance is good, and men think because they're not a woman, because they don't have any smells, which is false, that there's not something going on, or that they don't need something as well. Men, you do need something as well. What's on the outside, you still have to check the inside. It's two sides to every story. There's an internal and there's an external. That's why we say in our bio, check out our bio on this channel. We are here to provide information, products, and services about internal and external beauty. You can do whatever you want to all day about acne, get that cleared up, get the bumps removed, but there's still the underlying issue on the internal that is even causing that to happen. So you have to go further to figure that out. So there is research out here that is telling us where these diseases are coming from, bipolar and all these things. I honestly believe that some people can be born with these things due to generation, hereditary, hormonal imbalances and different things like that. But I believe that also there's things that is being picked up, like anxiety and depression, that's coming from just regular things that we're going through in life that we choose to ignore. Again, food and mental stability, they play a part with each other. If you are already unhealthy, you're eating animals that may have been sad, that may have been depressed. These are not organic animals. These animals are filled with additional hormones to make them reproduce 10 times more. So that animal is not natural. And then it's probably an animal that we're not supposed to eat in general, an animal that is defiled in God's eyes. We're eating that. Then on top of whatever I have going on in my regular life, I might have been slightly depressed. So now I'm eating a depressed animal. Their hormones are getting into my body and it's throwing off the balance. Now it's causing anxiety and all of these other things. Food definitely plays a big part. This is why God said the herbs is used for meat. God always talks about food, the benefits of the food that he tells us to eat. When they came and got the 3 men from, the children of Israel, and they took Daniel to King Nebuchadnezzar, all of the men was eating meat. Come on, Jesus. They were all eating meat. Nobody around could say, hey, King, this is what your dream is about. Nobody had that insight and that discernment. Nobody had that level of spiritual connection with God because everybody was unhealthy. Food plays a major part. The Daniel's fast is not just something that the world made up and just put somebody's name in front of it. We'll talk about fasting later on because fasting can cure all disease. That's just on period. You have to starve the body of what it's used to, period. But let me back up. So Daniel was already fasting. He told them, I don't want your meat. I don't want your wine. Just give me some water, give me some beans and some lentils, and I'll be on my way. So when the king he called out all these people. He called out the high priest. The king called out the witchcraft. He called out the tarot cards. Come on, Jesus. King Nebuchadnezzar, he called out all the palm readers. He said, give me the finest stones in the land. Had people picking stones and everything, and nothing worked for this man to get revealed to him what the dream was he had. The only thing that worked was a man that was in good standing and good health and that had a spiritual relationship with God. When we have a good, healthy relationship with our bodies, we have a good, healthy relationship with God in general. Call those things down from heaven to be on earth. God is healthy, period. God is healthy. God is beautiful. He's glowing. He's flawless. So all of these other diseases and illness, disease, and plague, that is a curse from God. He talks about that all the time. He told Adam, Eve, and the devil about the different plagues that will come to pass. That is a curse. That's not a blessing. So anytime that we get sick or we're not in good standing, like I said, any type of plague, the famine that's going on out here, the different lockdowns that's been going on, all of the different games that people is playing out here, it comes from God, but not in a good way. That comes due to disobedience. So if we're sick and we're getting, you know how people seasonally, they'll get sick, they're sneezing, they're coughing, all of that stuff is not from God. So a lot of that stuff be curses. We'll talk about that on a later day as well. But God always tell us plague is not a good thing that's sent from him. It's a bad thing that's sent from him due to disobedience. Quick story time. I remember I was doing some wild stuff or whatever, and I was telling him like, yeah, so, you know, God, I'm about to go, da da da. And God had somebody tell me, he said, listen, this man didn't know nothing about me from a can of paint, because I didn't tell him nothing. But he was like, I'm gonna just tell you that relationship is not sent from God. And I was like, okay. It went right over my head. Baby, went back to my little relationship. God showed me then plague due to disobedience. That he told me that's not, we have to begin to be wise from the people that you're listening to. But I knew that came from God, because I'm asking him about that, and he told me, and I still went against. So then he sent the plague. Plague is not from God. He'll never do that. God does not want to destroy us in any way at all. So he gives us the tools how to heal ourselves. So when we're going through, we cannot live this life and act like we haven't learned nothing. This requires patience, learning, wanting to eat different, wanting to be healthy, vegan or whatever. We don't even have to necessarily be on all these different type of diets or any of those things, but we do need to understand the basics, understanding the elements of health. You are a human. You require oxygen. You require carbon. You require certain levels of health and nutrition. This information is not hitting. You have to do your extended research. These people are saying that this book is written by certified nutritionists, and they're telling us the information is out there. It's been scientifically proven that food is playing a big role in our, in our shortcomings in general. It plays a move with our attitude, women with our, hormonal imbalances, and just everything in general. So we have to look at our food first. Then they said that pseudochemicals are compounds present in plants that make the plants biologically active. All fruits and vegetables contain pseudochemicals. There is natural chemicals called pseudochemicals that are in plants and vegetables that give them their bioactive ingredient. When you eat something and it says active or it says live cultures, like in yogurt, that means that it is active, it's live, it hasn't ran through any other process. When it get in your bodies, it's going to work immediately. It's going to do what it needs to do. It's active. So it just has all of the benefits that it needs to have. The nutrients and vitamins in that plant is active. The cultures and enzymes in that yogurt is live. It's active, good bacteria. In your plants, there is bioactive pseudochemicals that are able to give you the nutrients that you need. However, since few people eat enough fruits and vegetables to get the optimum amount of pseudochemicals from a diet alone, supplements is required. Because we don't eat enough plants, we don't eat enough herbs, we're not using the herbs for meat, we don't eat enough fruits and vegetables, then we don't have the optimum amount of strength, mental stability, balanced weight that we need. So now we need supplements. Instead of us getting the vitamin D from the sun, getting the vitamin D from good healthy milk, getting the vitamin A from kale, we actually need to go out here and buy products that have vitamin A, that have retinol, because we're not eating enough of it. The body requires a certain amount of percentage based on your body. But when you're not eating enough, you're not getting enough of it, then you become deficient. So now you have to become dependent on, okay, I'm not going to eat it, so it has to get in my body one way. When we talk about internal and external beauty, that is a two-way street. It's what you eat, it's what you consume that gives you the outer appearance. So if you're eating bad, you're going to have a bad outer appearance. Not only that, you still are required to take care of the outer appearance as well. You're eating healthy, the body is doing good on the inside. That doesn't mean that you don't have to do maintenance on the outside. You still have to wash up, you still have to wash your face, you still have to brush your teeth, but you get a better deal. It's a 2-for-1 blessing because you're eating good and you're taking care of the internal and the external. So now you don't got nothing to worry about. Like, you know, what you're putting inside of your mouth is good. It's not making your teeth fall out. Then you know you're brushing your teeth and you're flushing your teeth. On top of that, baby, you're going to have good teeth for the rest of your life. So it is a 2-for-1 thing. You have to work on the inside and you also have to work on the outside. When you do not get enough of what you need from your regular diet with the things you consume, then you do have to depend on supplements in liquid forms or pill forms. That's not what we want to do. Like we heard in part 1 of understanding the elements of health, the body is naturally able to restore and regenerate itself. So we shouldn't need no supplements. Our body should be doing and healing things on its own, but we're not eating enough of what we need to naturally to do that. So now we have to depend on other things to give us the benefits that our body should already have. So now they said pseudochemicals are not nutrients in the classic sense, but they determine a plant's color, flavor, and ability to resist disease. Pseudochemicals, they have the ability to reduce disease. So the pseudochemicals in plants, they're actually going to fight off disease, make sure that your body is, you know, fighting off any type of yeast, bacteria, any type of environmental pollution. So that's the importance of having the nutrients that we need so our body can fight off anything that tries to come our way. They also said the pseudochemicals are not nutrients in classic sense. They range from the color, the flavor of the plant. I just learned that there's a such thing as white asparagus. And usually when you let plants ferment longer, they have more benefits. But I'm learning that you can also pull plants before they get their color. This is what I learned. Asparagus grows from the ground. And when asparagus grows, it grows white. And what happens is when it grows out of the ground and comes in contact with the sun then gives the asparagus the chlorophyll. That's what turns it green. So chlorophyll is one of, come on, Jesus. Chlorophyll is one of those pseudochemicals that gives the plant their benefits. Come on, Jesus. So now that's why it's good for you to eat asparagus, because asparagus has had direct contact with the sun. Asparagus has picked up those natural nutrients and vitamins that we need. It has been planted in the ground. We come from the ground, so things that come from the ground is going to be good for us, and it has got benefits from the sun. The sun has a lot of beautiful benefits. Now, if you pluck that asparagus, see what they do is they'll put more soil. When they see the asparagus head begin to pluck out of the soil, they're going to put more dirt. And then they try to keep the asparagus out of the sun, and that's how they get the white asparagus. So it just depends on the different ways that the food is raised, that you get purple cabbage, that you get golden Seamoss or purple Seamoss. Some things are picked up before their time, and then some things are fermented longer to have more benefits. So it just depends on, and it's still good. White asparagus is still good. Probably, there's not, and when you see different fruits and vegetables that look different, that don't mean that there's nothing wrong with them. That means they have 10 times the benefits, and they may actually be better. Always do your extended research. So, pseudochemicals, in a sense, they are determined off of their color, the way that they are produced, and if they're natural and haven't been given any other hormones. So researchers have identified literally thousands of pseudochemicals and also have developed the technology to extract these chemical compounds and concentrate them into pills, powders, and capsules. With all of the technology that we have, they have learned that, okay, you don't have to eat that. That's why we're being taught you don't have to eat that. You can live how you want to live because you can just get it in a pill. That's why people are comfortable with, I don't have to eat no nasty vegetables. I can just get it in a pill. Because scientists, as always, has gone against, teaching us the natural things that we should do. And they have found out that, well, you can break this solid down and turn it to a liquid. And then you can flip that again and turn it to a solid. So with the technology that we have, and technology is a beautiful thing, you just have to know how to use that and be careful with it, because people are using technology against God in a bad way, and that's their problem. But they have learned how to use technology to extract pseudochemicals from the very plants that we should just eat. These products are included under the term neutral. Okay, they kind of broke the word up. So the products that they have extracted with their technology, these products are included under the term neutral centricals. That's NUTRACEUTICALS. The FDA uses the term dietary supplements to define natural compounds like pseudochemicals. When you see something that says it's a dietary supplement, they have used their technology to extract the powerful benefits, minerals, nutrients, pseudochemicals, pseudonutrients from a plant to put them into another state. That way you can take it and you don't have to eat it. That's it. So when it says dietary supplement, it's supposed to be healthy. Not saying that it's not healthy, but when you start extracting from natural plants, you have to mix, because not in its natural state. So say you strip kale of the vitamin A, now you have a kale supplement. The thing with the supplement is it's still going to be somewhat of active pseudochemicals, but not 100%, because now you have to take that natural compound and you have to mix that with the synthetic. That way you can have them pills to last longer. So I learned from someone on YouTube, it was a doctor, I forgot his name. He said that was a doctor, I think it was Dr. Sebi. He was saying that pills, when you take a capsule, the capsule pill can be made out of anything. Capsules can be natural, but some capsules can be made out of plastic. They can be made out of animal parts and animal fecal matter. So now you take that vitamin A from the kale and you put it in a synthetic capsule. Not only that, to reserve the little bit of bioactive pseudochemicals that you have left from that extraction, now you have to mix that with another type of powder, another type of gum, another type of color or dye to even keep that alive. When we have dietary supplements and we have pills that have colors and natural flavors, they did that to reserve the natural benefits instead of us just eating the kale. So this is what they're doing. There's nothing wrong with dietary supplements or different things like that, but it's just better. This is the point we're trying to get to. It's just better that we eat these things. Your body's nutritional need are as unique to you as your appearance. We'll be looking good, looking real good. You got the J's, you got the Rolex, you got the house, you got the Benz, you got the baddie, you know what I'm saying? She a baddie. You got the bag, you get money, you know what I'm saying? You look good, you appear to be good because you're always fresh. The same way that you look on the outside, your internal need to be good as well. It's a 2-for-1. A lot of the times, the internal is not good. Objects in the mirror are closer than they appear to be. And I say that be on our car windows, but I say that because it's a good example. Somebody can be close to you. You can be like, oh my God, he's so fine. She's so, you know what I'm saying? But you don't know that their inside is messed up. Their mental is not there. The same way that you want to look good on the outside is the same way you need to make sure, man, I feel good. My body feel good on the inside. You have to make sure that you feel just as good as you look. We can be looking good and do not feel good at all. I've seen it, I've been through it, and I've been introduced to it in other people. You look good, you know what I'm saying? You got the package, everything, but something is off. It's the inside. It's the spiritual. Our spirit is on the inside. When our spirit is contaminated, like I said, we cannot, unless you look it up, but looking, you'll just see skin, right? But on the inside is that spiritual connection. We have to make sure our spirit is good. The spirit is not just the mind. The spirit is the entire inside, which you cannot see. We have to make sure our spirit is good. We have to make sure our body is good. Like you hear, like, you know, okay, no men, we don't need to just be letting men into our houses. And men as well, we just don't need, y'all men don't just need to be letting women just lay, you know, build foundations on y'all property. For real. So we need to make sure our internal is as good, is as healthy as our external. Somebody, you look at somebody and be like, well, you know, she don't wear weave, you know what I'm saying? She ain't got no lashes on, man, bro. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got no full set, bro. I don't even think she, you know what I'm saying? But they're missing that you are a good woman. Just because you're not dressed like the other women. Just because you don't look like the other women, you don't boast like the other women, you're not out here fighting like the other women, you're not out here twerking no more like the other women, you're not getting turned up like the other women, they're going to bypass you because they're going to be like, bro, you know what I'm saying? Like, she always talking about health and stuff. Like, bro, I'm straight on her. Because they're looking at the outer appearance. So because you don't look, and they don't even know that you good. You good on the outside and the inside. You choose to not do that stuff. You got access to, but you choose not to. We have to stop. And it's, God don't got no problem. Listen, God don't got no problem with us looking good on the outside. He wants us to look good on the outside. That's how people know, oh, she got God on her, he got God on him, because you look good. God don't want us out here with our eyes all black because we tired. God don't want us all out here stressed out, blood vessels popping in our eyes because we crying. God don't want us out here like that, obese, with no health. He don't want us like that. But it's not just the outside neither. He wants it to be good on the inside and on the outside. So I'm gonna run that back. A body's nutritional needs are as unique to you as your parents. Your body's nutrition should be top priority just as much as you know, nobody's stepping on your J's. The first essential step towards wellness is to be sure you are getting the correct amounts of proper nutrition. By understanding the principles of holistic nutrition and knowing what nutrition you need, you can improve the state of your health, ward off disease, and maintain hormonal balance in the way nature intended. You have to do your extended research. It is wise to keep a doctor on standby, but it doesn't end there. You always have to do your extended research. A lot of doctors have not went, first of all, the people that we go and see, a lot of them are not doctors. They are, they're like primary physicians, and that's still fine because they can still do stuff, but they haven't took the extra level to, you know, be a doctor. They can still, and I just had this conversation with my doctor. She can still perform surgeries and stuff like that if she wants to, but she's not a doctor. She don't have the label of a doctor. And doctors learn Western medicine. So the intention, if they're not a holistic doctor, then their whole thing is to give you medicine. You have some people that's going to tell you the natural way, but that's not what they study. So you have to know who you're going to and different things like that. Like I said, I'm never going to not tell nobody to go to the doctor. You have a doctor and a dentist on standby, period. Because there's certain things, like if you need to get tested, you can order your own at-home test, but you may need somebody to help you break it down or whatever. Or, you know, just certain things that, you know what I'm saying, drawing blood and stuff like that, you're going to need a doctor. Understand that you have to do your extended research. You take the information that they give you. When they tell you your blood type or when they tell you your weight, you take the information that they give you when they give you your test results, and you do your extended research to learn how to keep those things in balance. Again, all doctors are not natural, so they're going to tell you the Western way. We live in a Western medicine society. In different countries, they're not eating McDonald's. And if they are, they're portion controlled. And their menus is not set up. Their burgers, watch Food Wars on YouTube. In other countries, their food is not high in toxic chemicals like ours. So it is okay to eat McDonald's and different things like that. In other countries, they're on routine schedules to do those things. We don't have that maintenance to do that. So we smashing. We need 2, 3, 4, 5 Big Macs. So all of that stuff gradually is over time going to break our bodies down. It's just, we have to learn discipline. We have to learn about our own bodies to know how much our body requires. Going to see a doctor, it doesn't stop there. Still do your work, put your work in. I think we get so routine on doctors to where we know I could just go to a doctor. So that's just what we choose to do. We just choose to keep on pulling up, letting them know. We have to do our extended research so you can know how much you require, so you can know where to get natural things from. Again, about the Seamoss video, I had to learn that I was taking fake Seamoss the hard way. This girl was licensed. She out here selling stuff. She took her little holistic course. I said, oh, okay, I trust her. Let me get some Seamoss. Then, doing my extended research, listening to the man that put us on this oil, Dr. Sebi, he said, Seamoss, if it's real, is not going to expand 10 times in amount. It's not going to do that. That's how you know you got fake. It's going to be thin, it's going to be stringy, and it's only going to grow barely in size. I learned that I was getting fake Seamoss. I purchased some real Seamoss and seen the difference. Be sure to check out that video as well. I'm going to drop that just because Seamoss is good and just giving you that wisdom. When I learned that, I never shopped with her again. And it's crazy that that's what I'm saying. You'll have people that's licensed. I didn't go to no, holistic class or nothing like that. I'm just reading. I'm just doing my extended research. That's it. Come to find out, this girl is out here selling fake Seamoss. I rebuke it in the name of Jesus. I pray by this. I haven't shopped in 2 years. I pray by this time that, she has gotten the real thing. But even licensed people, you still need to do your extended research. That's on period. It's not to say I don't trust you because you licensed or nothing. I'm still going to look into it. Because I was getting some fake Seamoss from somebody that was licensed and went to school and all of that stuff. Always do your extended research so you can know the proper amount of nutrition that you need. By understanding the principles of holistic nutrition and knowing what nutrition you need, you can improve the state of your health, ward off disease. You can maintain a harmonious balance in the way nature intended it. Part 1 of this book should provide you with a clear understanding of vitamins, minerals, amino acids, enzymes, pseudochemicals, and other nutrients you need, as well as important information on natural food supplements, herbs, and products that enhance nutrient activity. Eating a healthful diet and supplementing your diet with appropriate nutrients will help to ensure your organs and cells and tissues get what they need to operate properly. The nutrition suggested in this book promote healing and wellness by allowing the body to heal and rejuvenate itself. So understanding who you are, understanding what you require, doing your extended research, you'll be able to naturally fight off disease. You'll be able to heal your body, naturally lose weight, naturally have glowing skin, and just be healthy in general. Have healthy children, and for men as well. Like, I haven't did too much extended research, but I will. Just saying this, like I believe, this is my opinion, that some of the problems that we have with reproducing, that goes for men and women, it could be due to the food that we are intaking and the lifestyles that we live as well. I think some things could be hereditary, but I think some things be destroyed, like our cells, like men's sperm count and different things like that. Our eggs get destroyed after a period of time of having so much disease. When the body is constantly going through disease, like STDs or any type of disease, eventually it's going to break down. Things are going to begin to fall off, shut off, and not work properly. When you know what your body needs and how much it needs of that, you won't have them problems, because your body is going to do what it needs to do, period. Just like a woman, when she is on her period, she has to understand that this is natural, this should be happening, And that needs to happen. Men, I believe our men, they have to do their extended research to understand that, if you have a woman, she's on her cycle, to take care of her. Be equally yoked in that relationship. Because when women are going through things like that, that is our weakest season. And we still push doing what we do. But it is a blessing to have someone that genuinely loves you and respects you and cares for you enough to say, you know what, I'm about to go get my girl, babe. What size pads you need? Okay, cool. We'll talk about that later. Because, I got this thing with tampons. And I just want to get into it. Because I feel like tampons be stopping up the natural flow that you need, and I think it actually holds the blood and push some of that blood back up into the certain. I'm gonna leave that alone. I'm gonna leave that for the women's video, but still, men as well, it is imperative that you learn about your woman as well. When you really love someone, you're gonna learn about what they need as well. That way you can be equally yoked in the spirit. That way you can bless them with what it is that they need. When someone falls short, when your partner is going through, God says through sickness and health. As you can see right now, a lot of people, when they see you sick and you in health, they dipping. That's why we need to evaluate the people that we with. We need to evaluate the people that we want to be with. We need to evaluate the people that we think we want to marry, because of sickness and health, that it is what he said. So that means that I need to know your body as well, not just on no sexual level, on a nutritional level. I need to know your body. That way I can provide you with the information that you need as well. That way if something happens, maybe it's flu season, I'm going to know, okay, he need 100 milligrams of zinc because, period. Before you start to do things like that for other people, because people come along and they take advantage of that, do those things for yourself. Know what your body needs to be healthy. Alexis Love Beauties and Flawless Man, in conclusion, each and every man, woman, animal, and child that is on this planet, we all require a certain amount of nutrition. We have to understand the elements. The elements of health, we need carbohydrates, we need water, we need plants, we need fruits and vegetables, we need to exercise daily, we need peace. We need peace. We need mental stability. Baby, first and foremost, we need God. God is going to give us the information that we need. I mean, you don't even have to read a book. Listen, God has blessed each and every person in this world with a purpose, and it just takes a time for someone to get tired, to want to ask him for their purpose and be serious. But when God blessed people with their purpose, he did not say it was a problem he said seek wisdom. He didn't say it was a problem for you to get information elsewhere other than the Bible. I believe that God blesses other people with wisdom so we can have additional information. But even without this nutritional healing book, I know you can go into the Bible and you can go into Leviticus all the way up into Exodus, and even probably other places in Daniel, come on Jesus, in the Word of God, and he will tell you the different foods that you need to eat. God tells us in Leviticus how long we should bleed. He didn't set this aside for different women. Okay, because you white, yeah, this how long you should bleed. And no. God said he made one woman and one man, and that's it. And then we are to reproduce, to be fruitful and multiply. When God wrote Leviticus, he said that was it. He said this is how long a woman supposed to bleed after childbirth. This is the herbs that you use for meat. That goes for anybody in general. These are the animals that you don't eat. You don't eat animals with webbed feet. Just because you're in a different country, just because you're a different color, that don't mean that you are excluding. He gave us the principles that we need. Now, when we go against those principles because of the ways we was raised, or people do what they gotta do, I don't think God is mad about that. Lord, forgive us. We ask for forgiveness. But at some point in our lives, we have to begin to ask, why is this mucus be, I eat kind of healthy and stuff like that, but I'm still messing up somewhere because I be getting choked up. It's mucus stuff. I need to learn about that mucus, because I'm learning that mucus is not something you should just be swallowing to keep it in your body. Mucus is a sign of some type of irritation in the body. You have to get that out. Also, infection and disease, it sticks to mucus. You have to get that out. So reading a book like this gives you additional wisdom. But like I said, even if you don't go outside no other book, baby, you can read the Bible and get everything that you need. Me, I love God first. And I'm gonna ask him for additional wisdom. I just didn't go in the store and buy this book because I was like, oh, I'm about to buy that big book. I'm about to buy this thick book and read it. It was placed in my spirit, and I looked at it and I said, $30 book. And I didn't even think about it like that. It was on my heart to get this book. So I purchased this book, and that was the happiest day of my life. So throughout this channel, throughout our relationship, let me stop licking my lips. Throughout this channel, throughout this relationship, we're going to be reading from this book. Again, this book is not used to diagnose anyone. This book is used to give you extended research. I'm not never telling you, no matter what information that I give you on this channel, I'm just blessing with products, services, additional wisdom that I'm learning that I would love to share. I'm not diagnosing somebody, telling somebody nothing. If we talk about something on this channel and you're like, dang, like I got that you said it. Like, I'm just saying, I'm not putting nothing on nobody. I'm not telling nobody that, these are some problems that you have that you need to fix. I'm just telling you, like, oh, guess what I learned? Y'all will never believe what I learned. And this might be why, because there's some things that I come up across in here just reading that I have experienced. So I just want to share that experience with you. Again, I want to show you this book. You can get this book. See if Amazon has that book. See if your local food store has this book. Get you a copy of this book, and you're just increasing your wisdom. It did even outside of here. I read something the other day, and I still did my extended research on what I read from here and got even more information that was not provided here. Wisdom is everywhere. It doesn't just stop in one place. Always seek ye first, and he'll lay it on your heart to say you can get that book. I also purchased book we'll talk about that story time another day, honey, because it gets real. This is what I'm saying. You have to ask God. Come on now. No, my lip gloss rubbed off a little bit. You have to ask God for wisdom and understanding for his leadership. Because I asked them, but it was kind of after the fact. And so I had got a book from a doctor that's out here being like the #1 doctor all everywhere. We'll talk about that later. And come to find out, everything he was saying was fake. This man out here wearing glasses, but he's telling you to take all of these supplements that's going to heal your eyesight. Sir, if you've been taking these supplements since you was 12, why is your eyesight not healed? And why are you still wearing glasses? Some stuff just don't make sense to me. So the stuff that people be promoting sometimes just don't make sense to me. So I'm going to do my extended research. So that time I was led to throw them books away. And this book, I was led to pick it up. So Alexis Love Beauties and Flawless Man, keep you a doctor and a dentist on standby, of course. But just also know that there is wisdom. Ask God to give you what you need to be happy, wealthy, and successful. God bless you. I pray us all health and mental stability on this channel. I pray that any man, woman, or child that comes across this video, that you seek ye first, and that God will create in you a clean heart and a renewed mind. I love you. God bless you, and have a fabulous day. Mwah.